Welcome to the Citizen Journalist Show. This week our focus on the capital's changing landscape, the fast-moving pace of infrastructure and high-rises all around. Now every week on ibncj.com, many of you write in about your experiences with builders. Some of you have been duped, some have not received flats on time. At other cases, the flats look far from the dream project you had hoped for. In the next 30 minutes, the Citizen Journalist Builder Special.
Omax unlawfully started asking all allottees to sign an affidavit which stated that the possession that was being offered was only a temporary possession.
Today I am living in my flat without any right of ownership. I am not the owner of my flat.
Myself Pradeep Kumar Bareja.
I'm Saurabh Jain.
This is Surendra Bhardwaj.
With no basic amenities like water and electricity, allottees, even after getting possession, are unable to shift into their homes.
Our first Citizen Journalist report comes from the outskirts of the national capital, where buyers who were promised houses way back in 2009 are yet to receive it. Worse, in some cases where they were given houses, they have been handed over what's called a temporary possession. Akanksha Pradeep is helping one buyer, Ashish Kaul, file this report, but the sentiment reflected by hundreds.
I am Ashish Kaul. I have turned citizen journalist today to tell you how I have been duped, cheated and harassed in the name of owning a dream home. In 2006, I purchased this 3 BHK flat from Omax Builders in their premium project here at the Noida Expressway, priced at 72 lakh rupees. According to the agreement, I was to get my readied flat within 30 months from then. That is, in 2009. As per agreement, Omax had collected 95% of the payment from all buyers by 2009. The remaining 5% of the payment was to be collected at the time of completion or handover of the towers. The ground reality is that by 2009 end, neither the work of the towers were complete nor the development work in progress was completed. In fact, the work had stalled from 2009 to 2011 without any information given to the buyers. Almost every month I went to Omax office but didn't get any satisfactory reply. Then in March 2012, after a delay of 3 years, I received this possession letter. The possession letter clearly stated that my flat was ready and after making the final payment, I can get the handover of my flat. After a wait of nearly 6 years, I was more than willing to make the final payment to Omax. But I was in for a shock when I received this email from Omax. It said that my flat will only be handed over to me after I signed an affidavit. Omax unlawfully started asking all allottees to sign an affidavit which stated that the possession that was being offered was only a temporary possession. As a practice, builders should give a sublease to the buyers at the time of possession. But this premium housing project was refusing us our basic rights.
To my understanding, this affidavit was totally illegal. Basically, it showed that they were offering temporary possession to me for 2 months and then I had to give back possession to them after the expiry of 2 months.
We are only living temporarily without any legal rights whatsoever available to us over here because the sublease or registry has not been done so far.
But I refused to sign any such agreement and decided to file an RTI to know how Omax could refuse us a sublease. The facts that came out were shocking.
This RTI said that Omax was in no position to create sublease rights for its buyers without clearing all its installments with Noida Authority. But with dues amounting to more than 137 crore rupees, the buyers now fear that is Omax not clearing its dues, not issuing them a sublease right and just pacifying them with a temporary possession.
Despite our repeated complaints, consistent protests, Omax has refused to acknowledge our problems. I then joined hands with CNN IBN to seek answers from Omax about the same.
Lands in Noida are paid in
Mr. Soni's responses to the CJ team were later viewed by other buyers like me, so we could respond to his claims.
The sublease will be starting next week. We have cleared all our dues with the authority. There are no outstanding dues.
Every time what we have got from them is a new promise. At this point they say one week. Let's see if it happens in one week. But I am very sure it won't.
there were procedural delays at the authority, and we hope it will be cleared by this week.
This is not procedural delay. This is due to delay of payment from OMAX to the Noida authority, despite all allottees clearing their dues to OMAX.
It is very well informed to the customer that these are proposed layouts. There may be some structural changes, there may be some extra area added or deleted.
Once a project has been sold, it cannot be changed without consent of all the buyers.
Common area doesn't include the parking or street. It doesn't include that. It doesn't include the club area.
So I paid money, that kind of money, for the ambience and for the club and for the complete society. So when OMAX is saying that the club is theirs, I'm feeling cheated.
CNN IBN also made several efforts to contact Noida Authority to know its stand on the issue, but got no response. It's high time there is some authority that keeps a check on the builders and ensures that they deliver what they promise to their customers. After all, it's a life saving that is on stake. I hope this report goes to all decision makers and they take cognizance of it. This is citizen journalist Ashish Kaul for CNN IBN.
Even as we continue to try and get the Noida authorities to respond, remember they themselves have faced charges of corruption and negligence. Many of you have responded to this story. The curated comments on our hashtag CJ Builders and the videos and pictures we've received this week.
Well, builder buyer was an issue that many of you identified with. Lots of you wrote into us with a hashtag CJ Builders. Now, Sharif writes to us and he says that the penalty that's put on the builders for the delay in construction is just way too little. Sandeep Khan writes to us. He says that a property builder in Ghaziabad is cheating the buyers because he's selling property without the GDA's approval. Meena writes to us. She says she booked a flat and was asked to pay 52% of the payment, but no progress has been made on that construction since January 2012. Lot of you also asking for stringent laws against the builder malpractices. Continue to write to us and remember to use the hashtag CJ Builders. Now for the videos and pictures that we've received this week. Our first set of pictures come from Pune and Niranjan has sent them. He talks about Netaji Nagar, which is a 35-year-old housing society that was established by HUDCO in 1978. Now he says that there are about 4 acres of unconstructed land in this society that now suddenly the authorities want to claim. He said that the Maharashtra Housing Area Development Authority suddenly appeared on the 29th of May and wanted to claim this land. The residents obviously protested. They actually fear that this land is actually going to be sold now to a builder at a very high cost. Niranjan has also sent us this video. Now, Anoop is a CJ from Mumbai and he sends us these pictures of the newly functional passport office in Malad East. He says that this is supposed to be the waiting area for the passport office. Becomes very crowded, it's very narrow and right next to a very busy road. And incidentally, next to a dustbin. Another CJ from Mumbai now, Rakesh Thakur, is 24 years old and he filed a complaint in the consumer court. On the day of his hearing, he went to the court but realized that the very courtroom where the hearing was to take place was being used as a party hall. He saw the staff having their meals inside. There was some sort of a celebration happening. Rakesh took out his mobile phone and started clicking pictures. When he spoke to the staff, he realized that despite having a date, his hearing had been postponed to the 2nd of July. You too can become a citizen journalist. Just click, upload and write to us on ibncj.com.
Let's take a break on the Citizen Journalist Show. When we come back, watch out for Ask Rajdeep. The editor-in-chief is responding to your queries on what you liked and hated on CNN IBN.
I do appreciate if viewers like you can send in your suggestions to the stories you would like to see on air.
Welcome back to the Citizen Journalist Builder Special. Now, a dream home in the national capital is fast becoming out of reach for many. 3 citizen journalists from different parts of the city have come together to showcase the state of their homes in which they received it from the DDA. No electrical fittings, no water, no sanitation, no parking, no lifts. Vandana Anand has brought them together to give the big picture.
Myself, Pradeep Kumar Bareja.
I'm Saurabh Jain.
This is Surendra Bhardwaj.
Across Delhi, we, the allottees of the DDA Housing Scheme 2010, face problems. With no basic amenities like water and electricity, allottees, even after getting possession in 2012, are unable to shift into their homes. In Dwarka, there are 4 walls in the name of a house. In Mukherjee Nagar, unfinished rooms with debris lying all over. And in Vasant Kunj, new construction already in shambles. This is the condition in which these flats have been handed over to us. The DDA has clearly taken thousands of allottees across the capital for a ride. More than 330 flats in Mukherjee Nagar DDA have been handed over to the allottees without any electrical fittings or wiring.
आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं कि इलेक्ट्रिकल वायर्स जो हैं पानी में ट्रेंचेस के साथ चल रही हैं और यहाँ पर 2 से 3 दफ़ा शॉर्ट सर्किट हो चुका है। ये टेपिंग तभी हुई है। ये 2 हफ्ते पहले इस जगह पर और इस जगह पर शॉर्ट सर्किट हो चुके हैं और क्योंकि ये जितनी भी वायर्स है इन सब से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई हो रही है इन टावर्स में और इस टावर्स को अभी तक मैं आपको बता दूं फायर सेफ्टी क्लियरेंस नहीं मिल पाया।
The story is the same across the city. In Vasant Kunj DDA flats, the allottees were charged 35,000 rupees for electrical fittings and wirings, but astonishingly they were just physically handed over to us.
At the time of giving the possession, DDA handed over all the electrical items such as fans, tubes, geysers and exhausts to me and asked me to get them installed at my own cost. Even the wires which you can see here, these are hanging loosely. It was not there at the time of giving the possession. It was only after I filed the case in the High Court, they installed it the next day of filing the case.
We're in the corridor now. You can see there are no electrical fittings in the corridor as well as in the staircase. It's very unsafe and difficult for any family to live in such circumstances.
Their wiring is undone, their glasses are not fixed. Actually, one doesn't feel safe to come and reside over this place.
Such was the DDA's brazenness that they said possession would only be given to us if we agreed to shell out money for a TV. We had to pay an extra 29,000 rupees for a TV even without a warranty. On paper, DDA has given us possession of our flat in Dwarka, but as you can see, the work is far from over. Construction is still going on. Wiring and electrical fitting will come much later. Look at the condition of these lifts in the Dwarka flats. Even after promises of functional lifts, this is what we get.
My flat is on 10th floor of this block and it's not at all possible for me to shift to my flat as lifts are still not working. As I inquired the lift matter with DDA, they simply said that it's beyond their territory to obtain a NOC for these lifts.
यहाँ पे जो लिफ्ट्स हैं ये पूरी तरह से अभी फंक्शनल नहीं हैं। इनको अभी तक जनरेटर का पावर बैकअप नहीं मिला है जिसकी वजह से अलॉटीज तकरीबन 2 से 3 घंटे के लिए अंदर स्टक हो चुके हैं जो कि एक समस्या का विषय है।
As you can clearly see, the lifts have not been installed. I filed an RTI in December 2012 seeking information regarding the same, to which I received a reply in January 2013 in which DDA clearly admitted the lifts have not been installed and assured us that the same will be done by end of January.
But these empty shafts are all we have in spite of the reassurances.
There is no electricity, no water in the entire block. So it's a complete mess here and it's not so habitable.
The DDA in fact has not installed taps in any of its flats across the city. Water connections in most of the flats are pending. There are no taps installed in the kitchen and there is no flow of water in the kitchen as well as in the bathroom.
It was quite unbelievable for us when DDA gave all these taps to us and asked us to install it ourselves.
Apart from these, the surrounding areas are in a complete mess with open potholes and debris lying all over.
आज तक शिफ्ट नहीं कर सके हैं सिर्फ इसीलिए कि यहाँ पर सिक्योरिटी नहीं है, ना सिक्योरिटी गार्ड है, ना लाइट है हमारे पास, ना पानी का इतने अच्छे से है।
Nothing is good there, everything is wrong. Even the Malba is there, even there no parking there. Parking if there you see there is many water is there, mosquitoes are there, even no firefighting subject is there. We are very fed up.
All us allottees of Mukherjee Nagar, Vasant Kunj, Dwarka and various other places have protested before the Lieutenant Governor's house and also at the DDA office several times. But the work remains incomplete.
After paying close to 1 crore rupees, we are still waiting for our flats to be complete with basic amenities and don't know how long this wait will be.
We at CNN IBN contacted the DDA with repeated calls, emails and visits.
The DDA PRO Ms. Nimodhar although refused to comment on camera, but she told us that the DDA plans to complete all pending work in another 3 months. We will keep following up the story till some official from the DDA takes responsibility and breaks silence. Till then, we'll have to wait and watch if the DDA keeps its verbal commitment of completing the work in 3 months.
DDA should make the flats habitable as soon as possible, provide all the basic amenities, install and make the lifts functional.
मैं प्रदीप कुमार बरेजा, citizen journalist.
This is Surendra Bhardwaj, CJ for CNN IBN.
This is Saurabh Jain, citizen journalist for CNN IBN.
Time now for Ask Rajdeep, our effort to make the media a little more transparent. Now, every week, some of you write in about some issues are covered more, others a little less. Editor-in-Chief is answering this week's questions.
Is there a scope for viewers to decide the big issues of debate? For instance, there is an overdose of IPL across all channels, whereas there can be other issues as well.
Ashish, thanks very much for your question. You raise an interesting suggestion that you'd like to have viewers get a say in news priorities. I also take your suggestion that you believe that there's been an excessive focus on IPL and cricket. But let's be honest, the IPL and cricket at the moment is a huge story. It concerns the largest sports body in this country, the most powerful position in Indian sport, dare I say, in world cricket. And therefore, there will be a relentless focus at one level because it is a very, very big story involving corruption in cricket, involving politicians. So I think we've got to appreciate that editors are trying to take calls based on their judgment. Their judgment could go wrong. And I do appreciate if viewers like you can send in your suggestions as to the stories you would like to see on air.
Why does the media keep a veil of silence on Sonia Gandhi? For instance, the son-in-law of N. Srinivasan vis-a-vis the son-in-law of Sonia Gandhi.
Hi Ritesh, you raise an interesting but controversial question. Why isn't the media focusing on the son-in-law of Sonia Gandhi in the manner that we are focusing on the son-in-law of N. Srinivasan? Look, let me first say that CNN IBN was the channel that first brought out the story on Robert Vadra's connections to land deals in Rajasthan. Now you could argue, why didn't we relentlessly focus on it to the point where we sought Sonia Gandhi's resignation? Media can only do so much. The media has highlighted the issue, activists like Arvind Kejriwal have highlighted the issue, but ultimately it's for the political class to take up these issues in and outside Parliament. Whether Robert Vadra's involvement in these land deals should call for Sonia Gandhi's resignation is a question which is for the political class to answer, just as eventually it will be for the BCCI to decide whether Mr. Mayappan's arrest should lead to the exit of Mr. Srinivasan.
Why haven't you covered the power crisis in Delhi and the Lokayukta's indictment?
Hi Pavan, thanks very much for your question. Look, we are just running a series at the moment about the power crisis across the country, not just in Delhi. We've done stories from Andhra Pradesh, we've done stories from Karnataka, we've done stories from Uttar Pradesh. I couldn't agree with you more. There's a huge power crisis facing this country which needs greater focus. So I completely take your point on that. As far as the Delhi Lokayukt issue goes and Sheila Dikshit's indictment by the Delhi Lokayukt, it was a headline on the channel. Sheila Dikshit refused to speak to us when we asked her questions on it. It wasn't a criminal charge against Sheila Dikshit. Let's be clear. The indictment is not that of a criminal nature. But yes, there are questions of serious propriety which the Lokayukt has raised, questions that we hope Ms. Dikshit will confront. If not today, then tomorrow. We will continue to persist asking her questions. For now, the Delhi Chief Minister stays silent.
That's all we could pack in on this edition of the Citizen Journalist Show. Do keep writing to us on ibncj.com, Facebook and Twitter. Before we go, this is a little out of box for us as well, but saving your city can't just be about buildings and infrastructure, brick and mortar. It's also about saving the heart of the city, saving the little spaces, the alternate spaces that a city offers. One of Delhi's favorite bookstores, Yorakin, has shut shop. Just a few days ago, it held its last reading among empty bookshelves. But here's why Yorakin will live on.
real estate has gone up, rents have doubled, and I'm having to close the space, which is really breaking my heart because the space has meant a lot to all readers in this city and a lot to me certainly. It hasn't just been a space for transactions, it's been a space for a lot of culture building.
Its head in its hands, won't forget or shed its unease, revisits the hard word it spoke and heard spoken, the secret unasked kiss.
I requested Jeet Thail to come and read in this empty space today. So it's just, I think, a very emotional evening for everybody.